Okay, so I'm going to load up the first loop there that you hear. Now I'm going to load it up as a slice and slice map, and you hear that first groove, right? Well, you know how if slices, it will play back with MIDI. Okay, but you can play them individually, and then you can almost play them just like a unusual drum kit. You can put a little reverb. Okay, let's say compress it, and well, maybe put a little bit of reverb on it. Now this simulates what it would sound like if you were sampling off a record and you were just grabbing one little bit there. And you can also layer it with other things. So you could go in and grab, let's say, randomly from another title, a slice map, and just see what happens. So with the slice map grooves, you have, let's say, that same original groove here, which plays on B1, and then C2 above that chromatically, you have the slices of that groove that you could play on their own. So you can do a lot of creative things with that. One of them is you can, give it some velocity there and put it through some effects, and create a sort of an instrument out of it. Similar to the way you would sample off of a record or something, except you can't really do that. But here you can get that kind of sound, that chop slice sound. In fact, you can even make it sound like it still is off a record by putting it in, where is it? Here we go. Little record crackle. You can adjust the amount of crackle, even the age of the record. You could do some distortion. So let's check out another song construction kit. This one is from Downtempo Electronica. Sort of a massive attack style there. So what loop sync will allow you to do is sync to your host sequencer's tempo. If you're in standalone, you can actually set it in the settings here. So I have this now set to 70 BPM, so it'll sync to that and play it at a faster tempo and a higher pitch. And if I was to set it to, let's say, 60, it would sound like this. When you load a song construction kit menu map groove, you have different keys across the keyboard that play the loops. To see which ones are assigned, you can just hit zone and then you can see them. You can actually edit each one of them individually in this zone mode as well. So for instance, I can have Now let's say I wanted to take this sound only and filter it. I can do that with zone editing. With the Song Construction Kit menu map grooves, you can also produce the song with the built-in effects. I can take, for instance, this South loop from Dirty South, put it through a compressor, then a limiter, grid it up a bit. All I'm doing is playing different parts and different combinations here, but you can get very creative using different parts from one construction kit or mix and match between them, or pull up, for instance, the slice map loops, which in this case with South, I can go in and I can find South, and I go to another MIDI channel here, another channel, and I can load up, let's say, just the beat, and I can actually play any of those slices in different combinations. And I can also do the same thing with the bass. I can pitch it differently. And you can do that with any of the sounds of guitar. So you can treat these sounds as part loop, slice, and part instrument, because you can go in and filter it just like you would a synth. You can put it through effects. I can take MIDI control and put this on the mod wheel. And I can actually play it over the other.